All right, guys, looks like we are back in action. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the live stream. We first review the watch list and we trade the market open every day. Hope everyone had a good, profitable Tuesday. I know I didn't, but that's fine. You win some, you lose some. Today is Wednesday, the 20th of May, and it's 9:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got another 14 minutes till the market opens at 9:30. We typically wrap up trading between 10:30 and 11. I might try to just wrap up trading a little bit earlier. I don't know. We'll see what happens in terms of like not going past 11. I feel like after 11, it would be good for me to take a break at that point. Check out the video descriptions below for some FAQs and let's dive into it. I gotta say, I'm absolutely surprised no one's talking about NNDM because what was that direct public offering? I mean, these are things we typically know and we expect. And very quickly here, the SPY is up about 1.5%. So we should be opening a little bit green here on the day. But let me go to the former gappers right here. Let me pull up NNVC and let's just look at what's going on with this. Oh yeah, by the way, I took a little pre-market trade, not NNVC, sorry about that, NNDM. I took a little pre-market trade on NNDM. Took a small, what is that, like a 1% loss, not even. Which is a little unfortunate. Basically, okay, let's talk. So this was a lead gapper yesterday. You could see it on the 5-minute chart, just absolutely big run here. And they had a direct public offering, offers prices at deep discount at $2 actually. That's insane. So when that news came out, this is why we typically don't trade pre-market too much, because this is, pre-market, after hours is basically when a lot of this news comes out, or afternoon. And that's why I like to wrap up by 11 o'clock. So when that news came out and this thing just fell off a cliff, I was like, okay, well, it's finding some support here at 2.5 and then pulled a little bit lower to 2.43. I was actually going to buy this dip, but I was like, let's see if we can get some action back to the upside. I almost entered here, but I was like, let's give it a second chance. I would like to maybe have a confirmation of a bottom. And then we started pulling higher here. I bought on this pullback. I was up about 3%, 4%. And I was looking for a little bit bigger move here, maybe a break past the 2.7, back above VWAP. It happened, but the timing was off. So this is a little bit annoying that, this was a 16% move. So whatever, I'm not complaining too much. I took a really small position size, first of all. So I was like, whatever happens, it's more for a little bit of learning, but a little bit of just, good opportunity. Let's see if we can, profit from it. So I think if I did this 10 times, I think 6 or 7 of those times would be profitable. And as long as I manage my risk to the downside, it's going to be, fine trading pre-market or just trading in general. So it doesn't like bum me out super that I missed this move. What I will say, taking away from NNDM and just anything else pulling back this aggressively, I just realized my mic was super far away. So I hope that's a little bit louder. But what I realized with anything pulling back, sometimes, especially under VWAP, buying the breakouts is a little tougher because look at buying the breakouts here would have been really tough. You had maybe 262. That's where I bought. That's where we had the breakout right here. But then you can kind of see that the breakout was so slow. It would have been so easy to get chopped out or something like that. So buying on the pullbacks on a lot of these kind of big dips or anything under VWAP tends to be much better. And I was watching a lot of my recap videos from March, which was my best month. And that's what I was doing. I was buying a lot of the dips, not necessarily the breakouts, because I am more of a dip trader. That kind of fits my personality a little bit more. So that's what I was doing more in March than I was doing in April and May. And that for me worked much better. So I do want to kind of keep an eye out on that. But if we do see some really nice gap and goes, if we see over VWAP and all that good fun stuff, bull flags, then obviously trading breakouts is much more profitable. So just kind of putting that into kind of perspective a little bit. I've been doing a little bit of reflecting for the last few, especially today, but I mean, consistently. But I have noticed that in March, dip buying was a bit more my focus, which is kind of weird because obviously this challenge is about gap and go and breakouts and stuff like that. But for the last, 7 years, I've been primarily buying support lines, reversals, things like that. So to me, it's much more in my nature to snag a dip than a breakout. But yeah, that's why I'm doing this challenge. It's learning something new. So yeah, let's see if I can kind of combine the two strategies a little bit to make it perfect for me. Whew, all right, a little rant in the morning. Let's go through some of the lead gappers. I see you guys are really busy out here. KTOV, PHUN, I was about to say YUHH, but I think it's just a PHUN. A lot of stuff here on the gap list. Let's pull this one up first, see what you guys are looking at. Yes, okay, so PHUN does not look too bad. I do like it, not overly thick traded pre-market, so could have another run. I like the first leg, I like the consolidation. Let me put this one on the list as well. PHUN, a lot to go through, I'm gonna try to talk as quick as possible here because we got another, 8 minutes till the market opens, and I just feel like there's good stuff to talk about. Okay, PHUN shares flow 21 million, although TOS says 40 million shares outstanding, so a good thing to kind of keep a notice there. So let's take 21 million for the float. This thing's gapping up from 0.7 to 0.2. That's what, about like 60-70% or so. Or can I not do math anymore? Even more, 80%. Yeah, 80% actually sounds much bigger. I would actually say close. Yeah, okay, 80%. So that's a nice gapper pre-market. What we got over here as well is, let's see, how far is this thing pulling back from the highs? 26-27%. That's kind of a big pullback, but not the worst. So it's definitely something I'd be looking to trade. What's the catalyst? With Hewlett Packard on mobile healthcare solutions. So that big contract winner, big partnership news. Those tend to do fairly well. This one would be in horrible decimal places. Long-term chart, obviously, like most small caps, is a little rough, so you want to kind of keep an eye out for that. 1.8 is an area I would be a little bit cautious of. And let me kind of scroll back in and talk about why. So we have some body closes here. We have some tops in this area. I meant to say 1.18. 1.8 is interesting as well because it's closer to this area where we had also kind of a secondary bounce area. So the 180-day moving average is right in that area. It's kind of an interesting spot. Overall, we could maybe break that, run to 1.4. We hit a high of 1.2. I don't know. I see kind of a lot of resistance on this one, but big catalyst. Let's see how it goes. It could rip up here in the morning. This could be a really nice one out of the gates, I gotta say. Look at NNDM back at $3. So it's so annoying kind of calling these moves out and then somehow losing money on them. It's kind of like my theme for the last week, or definitely for this week. TTPHP, no, PHUN. I'm gonna throw this one on our watch list over here so I can keep an eye on it. Okay, let's keep going on here. Let's go to SURF, which could be our lead gapper for the day. Whoa. This one's gapping up about 70%, 75%. Let's just put 70 to keep it simple. What's the float on this wing? So shares outstanding 3 million. That's really nice. The float on Finviz, and this is where, actually, wait, hold on. I was looking at the wrong stock. 28 million shares outstanding on TOS, and then the float is 24 million. So let's put 24 million for the float. Nice. These are all, south of $50 million. So that's what we're looking for. It's a US biotech. Does anyone remember what the other stock was? And let's see, it's pulling back here about 27%, so kind of an aggressive pullback, but not too bad. PHUN was a US software company, by the way. So Surf, a lot of news pre-market. At market facility. So it's actually jumping on collaboration news. Study therapy treats solid tumors. But they just recently raised capital, making me a little bit suspicious here. 30 million at market facility. Approximately share price of 266, which was the low of yesterday, go figure. So it's up on that, but it recently raised capital. Okay, that's kind of an interesting mix. A little bit of, made me a little bit nervous with SURF, but what was that? Collaboration partnership. Merck is a big company. Well, apparently enough to get it up 70%, so kind of interesting there. Let's quickly go to SFET, and then let's talk about how we might trade some of these companies. SFET pulling back a little bit here. Pre-market about 50%. This one has the smallest shares outstanding, 3 million shares outstanding. What's the float? Let's see, SFET. 1.8 million. Wow, this one's a tiny float. Israel software company. Yesterday, NNDM, I think that was an Israel company as well. Very crazy. Just Israel pumping out some of these companies. Safety Unite scores, cybersecurity deal from consumer VPN sector, virtual private network. So deal winner. It's usually not too important to dig too much into the specific articles because you'll just kind of play games with yourself and or the catalyst, and it's better just to kind of watch the price action, see how the market has reacted to it. MGNN, I see you guys looking at it. Okay, so I'm thinking right now, what's the most obvious lead gapper out of the gates? What's everyone probably looking at? I do think there's going to be probably a lot of people looking at NNDM. It just hit 3.5 not too long ago. And I think that, there was a good chance for this thing to bounce back higher. Kind of makes me kind of kick myself a little bit that I should have just got more aggressive on the dip, but oh well. Something to consider is just, I think in general, there's just going to be a lot of people looking at that. There's a lot of people holding this one. I mean, just check out the comments yesterday on yesterday's recap video. I was actually kind of shocked the reaction we got to that video. A lot of people were looking at NNDM, which I guess totally makes sense because, it was up yesterday at $147 million volume. That's huge. Morning, guys. We have another 36 seconds to the market opens. I'll probably be watching surf a little bit here. SFET, I'll be watching kind of both of them back and forth, see what starts popping up here. Maybe we might even trade NNDM. I wouldn't be surprised if we had another big run in this one, but it could also easily sell off 20-30% very, very quickly. So I'm going to be cautious on that one. Yeah, another 14 seconds to the market opens. Let's just keep a close eye on, see what's gapping the most, has the most volume, and just kind of jump on it from there. Good luck, everyone. 7 seconds now. NNDM could be making a new high. SFET here. SFET has the lowest float, so this thing probably does have some really good spikeability here in it. I do like the fact that it has some room to run here, so I like that a lot. I would say key zone of resistance is about 2.5, so let's see if we can hit this area. But a lot of backholders probably in SFET, which makes you a little bit cautious here. Probably a bunch of people happy to be taking profits right now. NNDM pulling back a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Look at that 30%. Oh, man. So big open here. This could be breaking higher. This could break above VWAP. Wouldn't totally be surprised. Big open volume. Traders back on it. at the 3.5. Phew. Big buyers here. Huge buyers. I think it just got halted. Wow. This is going to be an interesting open. PHUN, let's go back to this one breaking higher here. Remember, 21 million float, big partnership deal news. If I wanted to trade this, I'd be looking for about 1,000 shares. Sometimes it's hard to get entries on these. Looking for a potential low dip on this one, and then ideally a continuation, although I'm not sure if we're going to get that. Instantly having a continuation. I'm going to close my limit order now. Sweet move on PHUN. So far, no trades yet for me. Very nice. So this could be a setup for that second leg. Remember that big resistance at about 1.5. Right now, 1.2 would be a double top. We have ALDF. I haven't really been looking at today, kind of pulling back a little bit here, kind of a percentage-wise up kind of quite a bit. RMBL, if you guys are curious about this one, I think it was bought out. That's why it's just up so much. Or it had a reverse split, something like that. I don't think there's no catalyst or anything like that. NNDM should be opening up again on 95 or close to, 35 or close to 36. Surf is really pulling back. XLB pulling back a little bit. This could be having a red to green move. We might just burst through this EMA right now. Bit low in volume. Buyers coming in though. Earnings call came out earlier. Probably room to run to at least 125. PHUN with a big move. All right, let's check out here what else is going on. SFET had that nice open here. Instantly pulled back though. Definitely one of the lead gappers. We have KTOV as well as a lead gapper. We have PHUN making nice moves. I think PHUN got halted as well. KTOV, kind of interesting move. A lot of stuff all over the place. Sometimes you just got to pick one. CCCL. Big support at about $1 here. This could be a nice reversal. Quite a choppy open on SFET. VXRT trying for red to green from Corey. SFET pulling back again here. Could be a great dip by entry. No trades yet from me. 6 minutes into the market open. NNDM is about to open up here. On the 26 seconds, here we go. Opening higher, instantly to 270. Whoo! Man, oh man, this would have been a good bounce to hold. 50% up from where I entered. So yeah, that's a tough one. I have been seeing some nice bounces off the direct public offerings, and that's why I did it. Sometimes you do see them kind of pull back for a while. I probably should have just been like, you know what, small position size. I'm just going to hold on to this one a little bit, kind of reduced my max stop, but I think I probably would have got max stopped out right on one of these candles. So it's also kind of a tough thing to say. I mean, this thing pulled back about 10%, right? So it's tough. I probably won't be trading it. I think NNDM might have a hard time really doing much today after that DPO. I haven't really seen a stock that gets a direct public offering that does too much afterwards. But I might be wrong. You never know. There's always a possibility. I like PHUN. This one's going to open up in about a minute. Surf really isn't doing too much of anything. Anthony's calling out ARNC. Although it does have a nice little red to green move here. Pulled back all the way to 45, now pulling back higher. A little confused why the volume is not showing up on SURF. Look at that open on PHUN. I'm going to see if we can get a little entry on this one. About 700 shares, 800 shares maybe. NNDM halted again. Wow. So PHUN, I was thinking that this one could rip to 1.5, and well, guess what? Here we go. This thing's absolutely flying, and I'm not on board with it. A lot of stuff moving to the upside. Markets are hot. Small cap market are hot. $39 a.m. I have no trades yet. SFET still kind of pulling back. A little cautious with that one. Thoughts on CLSK? I'm not sure. It's not on our scanner. Does it have any volume? It is a former runner. Yeah, I'm watching Surf. I'm watching it out of the corner of my eye, my other screen. So we had a really nice red to green move on Surf, having probably a VWAP pullback here. These are sometimes very tricky to trade, and oftentimes the pullbacks are just very aggressive. So they're not my favorite kind of setups here. Not totally sure how I would want to trade that one. Nice volume came in on this one though. First big green day with a big collaboration news. Having our first 1 minute pullback on Surf. I don't know, NNDM, I think there's going to be a lot of nervous people on NNDM. So SURF pulling back. See, these are the VWAP pullbacks that happen after the red to green moves that I don't know. They've been a little choppy for me. So I'm just going to kind of let this one be for a little bit here. In all honesty, PHUN, I'm a little bit upset that I missed that one. But oh well. We're just, you know, learning right now. These gap and goes a bit more. Let's see what else we get. SFET. PHUN should be opening up somewhat soon. PHUN, sorry guys. A little ticker confused right now. Yeah, look at SURF. So this one, classic example, you know, of hits that high right here. Look, we have big resistance at $4, hits it several times, and then just gets rejected, pulls back. We do have some nice support here at 3.5, so I probably should have put some more worth into that for the red to green move. Because this one, you know, could have been a good buy right around here at 3.57. As we break into that, that could have been a 4% trade, roughly. Would have had to been pretty quick, but could have been possible. Yeah, Tristan, that's the VWAP pullback after the red to green move that I was talking about right here. I typically don't like doing it because I tend to not have the best follow through. And then I tend to get stopped out on it, which is a little bit annoying. What a really aggressive pullback on SURF, huh? PHUN opened up here. Wow, 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 wow. Talk about should have got aggressive, should have, could have, would have on that one. Phew! Oh well. $69 and get halted again. Oh man. That's life sometimes, huh? Sweet moves out of the gates, guys. This was a 74% run on PHUN. Wow, wow, wow. We've been seeing some really nice volatility here. So far, no open trades yet from me, just that NNDM pre-market dip buy, which I just simply closed the position a little bit too soon. Oh well. Nessa says PHUN is Halt City. Yeah, it is. Paul, that is not selling too early. Well, this is looking like one of those days I'm going to end up trading a little bit later than I should. I got to say, NNDM, I was not expecting this kind of bounce. No way. I was expecting a bounce, but not 100% bounce. I was expecting maybe 20, 30, 50%, definitely retesting $3, going above the EMA, the 15-minute EMA, which is this blue line right here. But I was definitely not expecting 4.7. That's huge. And I guess, especially after direct public offering, that's just stuff we don't really see too much. But the catalyst was pretty interesting. I mean, 3D printing, motherboards, and circuit boards, and that's quite interesting. SURF bouncing off 3.5. 8% bounce on that one. So far, no trades. No, and TOS does not have halt levels in the level 2, which is really annoying. I really, really wish they did. I think it would make me a bit more aggressive with my trading breakout strategy. SFET has basically just been pulling back all day. You'd think this is the one with the DPO, but nope. KTOV bouncing here. Don't really want to be trading the sub dollars on a hot day like this. Nice bounce on surf. PVAC had an alert that it's above. When did I set this one? It's making some progress here. Set that alert some time ago. Just absolutely insane with NNDM. I think at one point it's going to pull back probably to 3.5, maybe further, very aggressively. I'm not going to be chasing this one. I should have been chasing it right here when we broke 3.5. That's kind of when I was looking at it. And that's when, right at the market open, I was like, NNDM could be a hot one. I just don't like these buying these after the DPO. So that's why I didn't do it. Wow. Crazy stuff. XELB from Peter. Also having a bit of red to green move. Big resistance there above it at 1.3. Bit of a late bloomer here. Wow, so almost everything is ripping today. It almost wouldn't have mattered what we traded. It was all just sunshine at the market open, so that's pretty cool. Would have been nice to snag at least one of them. Wow, we got 195 viewers in here. I just noticed. I think that's a record. Definitely a lot of new people in here, guys. Welcome to the stream. You're definitely catching me on one of my slower streaks, but that's how it is sometimes. So what do we got here? NNDM is going to open up here any second, probably like in 20 seconds. I'm going to be watching this one a little bit. I got surf on my other screen, just watching it. PHUN pulling up even higher. I mean, this thing is just wicked pull runs. NNDM, let's see how this one opens up. Looks like NNDM could be having that pullback right now. I honestly can't believe that PHUN is just still flying. NNDM got halted on the way down. I'd be very careful with this one. Looks like we're going to be buying some dips today because I absolutely slept through that open. Ay. Yeah, it's eating my soul a little bit too. Yeah. No days off. I haven't pulled out the 2 cups of coffee yet. Yeah, because this morning I already had like 4 or 5 cups of coffee. Unfortunately, that was like 8 hours ago. So by the time the market opens, I'm already kind of like getting ready for my afternoon a little bit. You know, it's getting close to my bedtime basically. So that's why, you know, trading in Europe sometimes is nice, but it's also sometimes if you have a busy morning, by the time the market opens, you're like little drowsy. That's why I always do my little workout before the market opens. Why did I not get aggressive this morning? I'm trying to think here. Maybe you guys were distracting me. I'm gonna blame it on you guys today. Got to blame it on something. CCCL also had a red to green move, had a VWAP breakout, and then, you know, this 1.3 area, big resistance. Halted on the way down. Probably not for a super big reason, but just besides that giant spread. PHUN was on my gap scanner. These are all in the gap scanner. I got a video in the video description, a link to the video in the video description below. I got a link to a video where I talk about my scanners if you guys want to check it out. Surf having a nice little pull here, could break above VWAP. I like what I'm seeing on Surf. Gonna look at that one a little bit more. I actually wanted to buy it at the 3.6 breakout, but again, I didn't pull the trigger on it, so not really sure why I've been kind of missing a lot of these moves here. $3.6, definitely some buyers in that area. That didn't have the breakout. Okay, Jay, that's good to hear. Nice. Carmelo's in PHUN. I am super curious myself what it's going to be doing. SURF has a new high here, and I gotta say, on the 5-minute, it doesn't look too bad for a potential entry. This pullback was very aggressive, though. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw maybe 55 or something it reached again. Yeah, gotcha. I just have mine continuously running now, right here on the left side. So here we go, 353. PHUN back up 200% on the day. Huge. I would be so nervous on this one. I gotta say, PHUN though, that 21 million float, that's really, you know, when we talk about the floats in the morning, it's the low ones that really tend to do the best, and that's why we call out the floats. Did it get halted again? I don't even have time to trade this thing. It just gets halted every 5 seconds. What do you think of set drop? I'm not sure what you mean by that. SFET. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. That was kind of aggressive pullback. It is trying to break that EMA. So Surf tried 3 times now to break higher and got rejected every time. 3.5 is big time support. Might crack 3.5. But if selling volume isn't strong at 3.5, the crack, I would probably jump in on it. It's good to hear Wolf, nice profit there. Yeah. Although the first trade, sometimes first trade's a little sticky. SFET pulling up again. That is dicey, yeah, Corey. It freaking is, that's for sure. All right, I'm gonna see at 9:55. This is usually what time I like to see for some reversals. I'm gonna see if I can grab my tea. I'll be right back. I basically chugged it. All right, guys. PHUN, probably going to get unhalted here. Surf, kind of what we expected. The SFET, pullbacks. Here's my other screen. Long-term chart on SFET, man. A lot of these, spikes to the upside, these gap ups are so short-lived. I'm a little bit nervous on it, and I might even just stop watching it outright. I actually quite like Surf. We've kind of been holding these areas a little bit. Buying the dips on it seems to be maybe the best move. Not a lot of selling volume on that 3.5 crack. PHUN pulling up even more. I would love to get a dip buy on this one. But I don't think we will get a dip buy on it. Can't stop, won't stop. Big buyers. You guys see the buyers on there? Potential triple bottom here on surf. Looking for a move back above the 50. We have an entry on SURF at the 48, 348. This is one of our lead gappers on the day. Has just kind of been selling off, had big resistance at 4. It's about 10.02 now. Kind of bought it on the dip here. Looking for bit of a reversal on this one. PHUN, would have liked to trade that one, but we kept on missing the entries on it. But I probably could have watched it a little closer out of the halts. NNDM pulling back 3.7. $10:03 now a.m. Crazy how late it's gotten. Kind of back to break even here on surf. There's volume, but it's light. Kind of the first trade here on me for me on the day. Surf is a little bit light on the volume. Not the biggest fan of that, I gotta say. Although I do like the triple bottom. I like the 3.5 support. I did like that we tried to crack 3.5 and the selling volume faded. To me, that was kind of what I was saying. I was looking for a potential entry. This is one of our lead gappers on the day, 70% up. Looks like it's about to pull back right here. If I had unlimited trades, I'd probably close this position and look for a secondary entry. 24 million float, so this thing can move fairly quickly, so you just got to keep an eye out for that. US Biotech with big collaboration news today. Pulling back again. $43 may crack here. Some buyers coming in on this one. Not super interesting, I gotta say. Big drop there, really quick. So I was right actually on saying that I should be getting out on this position. So that was actually a right move on my end, and it's a little bit annoying that I didn't actually stick to that. So yeah, I should have closed out this one a little bit quicker here. Let's see if we can get a little pop to the upside. I would like to close this position. All right, took my risk off the table here. A little bit annoying. You know, I even called that exit out. I was like, okay, so if I had unlimited trades, I would be getting out right now because I don't like the fact that we didn't have that continuation. I didn't want to risk more than about 10 cents a share. So that was kind of the overall thesis behind this one. I'm actually still fairly bullish on this. It just, sometimes, I gotta say, this not having unlimited trades on this challenge has been the hardest part of the challenge. So that was the whole reason I actually stayed in on this trade. I was thinking we might have a pullback, but it might not be that bad. So I'm gonna hold a little bit longer. Okay, so yeah, now buyers coming right back in. I would probably re-enter surf. But I would give it maybe a little bit of time here to prove that it formed somewhat of a bottom. I don't want to re-enter this right away and then just kind of get stuck in a false reversal. Not the worst thing, just a little bit of a bummer on the fact that I knew I should have got out and I didn't get out because I didn't want to waste one of my trades. That's always a really annoying thing, whatever. That's just how it goes. Yeah, so PHUN, I've been wanting to enter this several times, and every time I was about to enter it or looking at it, we missed, it got halted again. And then I was like, okay, well, let me look at something else. And then I look at something else, and then it gets halted again. I don't know, it's just a vicious little thing here. Surf pulling back at 3.37. Now I'm kind of looking at this one a little bit. So I got one trade left today. Luckily, I have been using a little bit smaller position size, so I could use bigger position size on my last trade if I wanted to. But I probably won't unless I see a really good setup. I see you calling out CCCL. Yeah, this one has been ripping up nicely here. I like this really clean breakout right here. This is nice. I wish I would have saw CCL here, but good job calling this one out. I just wasn't looking at it. Definitely some resistance above, but at the same time, it's been doing pretty well. A lot of stuff getting halted left and right. And it's actually kind of funny here. We don't even have that much dollar volume across the board. So SFET, I basically stopped looking at this one after I had that second pullback. It's just been kind of dying. Long-term chart doesn't look too good. So SFET, just not a hot one. PHUN, would have loved to trade, but somehow I've missed the entry every time on it. I might save my last trade for a potential pullback. Well, we'll see what happens. CCCL, our third lead stock on the day now, could be an interesting move as well. It's going to open up here. I'm going to see if it breaks above 57 on the open, just in case I pop away from it. $1.6, an interesting area of support and resistance, again with 1.5. So let's keep an eye on for these levels right above here. Wacky Wednesdays from Colton. Whew. All right. Let's see if we can do a little bit of a red to green on the account for the last trade on the day. Don't forget to drop a like, guys, if you enjoy this. Hopefully entertaining and educational content, more educational than anything. If it's entertaining, that's only a plus, but we'll see. So surf. just analyzing this trade again, what I was waiting for was kind of a confirmation that there was support in here. And when this red candle didn't have a lot of sellers and we bounced right back up, I was like, this is looking like a confirmation. I'm gonna go ahead and enter this potential triple bottom that didn't break to the downside. Unfortunately, we didn't have a good follow through, and I was like, I would probably get out of this trade, but I only have one trade really for this stock, so I'm going to hold on to it a little bit longer. Unfortunately, that was kind of my mistake, and then after this crash, I got out pretty quickly. I could have probably got out at a little bit better spot, kind of took some more money back, but overall, I think my initial mistake was maybe jumping the gun. I don't know, it's hard to say, because I think this trade, done several times, would have been profitable. It's just this time it didn't work out. NNDM halted. I would be super careful with NNDM. Look at PHUN up so much. Huge. Well, Carmela, I mean, you should be doing pretty good on that, but I appreciate it. I mean, you're in PHUN, no? Yeah, I really am not a fan of this mini halts. It's really kind of tough and annoying to trade. If you're in the halts, it's great, but you know, oftentimes there's only one or two halts and then it goes red. So this one's a bit overextended in my book. All right. I feel like it's really quiet. It's extremely quiet. I think it's because I have the windows closed today. It's freaking me out a little bit. All right, CCCL opened up, pulled up to 169. A lot of strength on this one. I think just in general, there's going to be a lot of bullish traders trying to find the next PHUN a little bit here, which opens up, I think, on the 17. Wow, just it's insane how much movement we're having. Nice follow through here. This one could see maybe $2 or something. I like that CCCL breakout from that triangle pattern. Wow, quick pullback here. Oh Lord. I think it just got halted. Here we go, 1.5 might be the halt on it. I would probably like to buy that one into the open. So CCCL, let's remember that it got halted at 15.45. It's gonna open at 10.20. SFET still pulling back. This could be a bounce at one point on this one, but I don't know if I would want to use my last trade on a potential bounce where I would close. Woo-hoo-hoo, these things are ripping now. Try to break the 40. Man, I would love to be buying this dip, but huge support on the 40. Almost a perfect bounce off of it. PHUN opening up here, hit $3. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of profit taking on the 3. You can see them now, sellers there, 26,000 shares that are visible. Check out the 5-minute chart down here on this one, just absolutely savage. Oh man, this thing gets halted so much. This might be the first halt to the downside. It's insane, absolutely insane. Kind of a slowish bounce on SFET. But decent volume here on the second candle. Ooh, instantly pulls back again. Could be the first candle to make a new high here. Or not, I don't know. Oh man, I'm itching to trade that one. Oh, some big buyers coming through. If we break the 40, I might actually trade it. CCCL was going to open up on the 1020, so we got, or 1020 and 45 seconds. Wow, these numbers or tickers are breaking my brain over here. Yeah, I feel you, Andre. I want to go surfing too. That's what I feel every time I say the surf. I'm like, what? Got some other runners as well. GPRE, some decent volume on this one, and percentage gains. Nice trend to the upside. Bigger resistance at 10. Problem is the percentages on it just aren't that interesting. So it was good that we cut our losses on surf. I wish I cut them quicker, but that's just, you know, how it goes sometimes. I need to give my trades a little bit longer of a chance. That's just how it is, especially since I don't have unlimited trades at the moment on this challenge account. SFET still pulling back here. Wow, huge pullback right out of the gates on CCCL. The best way to join this stock is first get rid of this error message. Make sure you have auto send off and then just say join the bid. And the reason I say auto send off is because with a spread this big, with the messed up decimal places, sometimes you don't know where you're getting an entry. Super aggressive breakout. Congrats to anyone that got that bounce at 1.35 roughly. Selling volume fading here a little bit. Here come the dippers. 1.4, 1.42. Can we see it? I'm not totally sure. Just kind of watching CCCL a little bit here. So far, this looks like VWAP's holding this area. Big support at 1.32. This could be the first candle to make a new high. This could be a big green candle popping up right now. It's hard to say. But it is the first new candle to make that high, so it could be quite a nice little bounce. Like I said, on these that are pulling back, I don't want to be buying the breakout though. Sweet stuff on CCCL. Congrats to anyone that got it. I did not. Surf is looking really not fun, just constantly pulling back. ALT had some nice moves here, trending above VWAP in the 15-minute EMA, kind of pulled back, constantly kind of started spiking higher here. Percentage-wise, it's not the biggest one, but overall, not too bad. CCCL at 1.5 for a second there. Really nice bounce off of that. PHUN closed on the 17. This one should be opening again, but it has not. So this was probably a 10-minute halt or a 15. Maybe because there was some news that came out as well. Oh yeah, 10-minute halt. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'm going to buy PHUN now. SFET, actually, I think it even fell off for scanner because it was pulling back too much on the day. Yeah, it's only up 12% on the day. I like that it broke that 1.3 area or 1.4 area and then pulled right back up. I mean, this is kind of what I was looking for this bounce. Big buyers on the 39. This could rip through the 15-minute EMA. Typically resumes 10 minutes after it's halted, 5 to 10 minutes. CCCL pulling back here again. Might even break one more time here. So typically there are 5-minute halts, and you could basically just almost always add 5 minutes to when it was last halted to when it's halted. So 28, so it's going to get unhalted at 33 and 6 seconds. Unless there's some news comes out or something else that comes out, then the halts can last 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We've seen hour-long halts. It switches up, but typically you can assume 5 minutes. I would say like 95% of the time, it's maybe 90% of the time it's 5-minute halt. With PHUN, this is, you know, now we're past 10 minutes, so we could be seeing a 15, 20-minute hold, who knows? I haven't looked at NNDM in a while. I gotta say, this one's really, really impressive, mind-blowing on how it recovered from that offering. Even big volume back in on this one. Huge. It's actually above the 180-day moving average for once in a long time. I'd be a bit nervous this thing gets slammed with a secondary offering or just some other news. It would make me trade this very, very sketchily, and I just not sure if I want to jump on that boat. Welcome, CCCL. Best thing you can do is just, keep on watching. I got a $25,000 challenge video in the video description below. It talks about everything we do, what we look for, and then, just stick around long enough and things will start clicking. Heiko's been here for about 3 months now, for example, and started off a little bumpy, but I think he's officially green as of yesterday on his $25,000 challenge. And now he, understands his strategy, kind of molded it to his personality, and that's when he could start really making money. Surf does not look too shabby, kind of having a little bit of a return here. I don't like the fact that there's almost no volume on it, but 1031 and kind of found maybe a potential bottom, found that bottom that we were talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if at least it had maybe a reversal back to 3.4. That's really not that far from now, so it's probably not the best prediction ever. There's going to be a lot of profit taking on PHUN. It's going to be absolutely wicked, just mind-blowing. some really good moves today. I'm gonna have to really reflect on where I went wrong again. Oh, I think I'm just, I'm green on the month, so it's fine. But I just been in this shaky mood that is not okay. CCCL, remember it's going to open on the 33 in 6 seconds, so we got another minute here on this one. ALT doesn't look too bad at all. Kind of had a bit of a consolidation ABC pattern here, could be breaking higher. Nice volume on that breakout, have a bit of a 1 minute pullback. These are sometimes scary when they're slow. These kind of late in the day ABC patterns that are a little bit slow, they freak the heck out of me. No days off. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It was a bit more chill when there's like a few people in here. It's like Satoshi, Corey, you guys know who you are. I kind of feel like taking a trade right now would be doing something unnecessary, but at the same time, I don't want to be overly biased and negative. If I see a good setup, I really just honestly got to just jump in on it. That's really what I've been saying a lot lately in my recap videos, and it's totally true. Huge pullback to CCL. Look at that bounce. Oh, should have been watching it a little bit closer on that open, because this is just about exactly what I wanted here. They improved the decimal places though on CCCL, so that's quite nice. Yeah, 21 would have been such a beautiful ticket, huh? Yeah, Boy Claus, another one of the OGs. 135, but it's good to have new people. I mean, everyone brings new ideas to the table. Growing community only benefits everyone, so it's awesome stuff. Man, oh man, oh man, CCCL. I'm not gonna lie, why did I miss that one? I was doodling. It's exactly what I wanted. That pullback on CCL was really nice on the open of the halt. Boom, big bounce too. 3 big candles in a row. (10:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a little bit late on the day. But we broke right back above VWAP, really sweet. Bit of volume coming back on that one. Question is this thing even gonna pull back? That was a really, really nice move. Again, kicking myself in the butt about that one. 16%, really sweet. 135, having a bit of a pullback here. Buyers coming in. Not too much sellers. Kind of watching CCCL here a little bit longer. Wouldn't mind an entry, low 30s. I'm not sure if it's going to break 30 though. Big buyers on the 32. PHUN opened up here. And got halted. Big open on PHUN. $130, some buyers on CCCL. CCCL has just a lot of sellers just kind of popping in on here. I gotta say, it's a little bit unexpected. Are we gonna rip through this low here? This is insane. I was not expecting that. I gotta say, CCL gave me a little bit of FOMO on that because I totally missed this open here. Kicking myself about that one. I really wanted an entry at 121. I was even thinking in my head, you know, this time I wouldn't mind placing a limit order on that ahead of time out of the halt. Would have been such a good decision. I'm gonna see here if CCL breaks above 37, and then I'm gonna see if it actually breaks below 22. We'll see what we want to do with it. Right now having a bit of a double bottom here. Could see a reversal. Back to the 30s. Kind of a nice little bounce there, 5% move, not too shabby. Low volume here on this potential bounce, making me really nervous on CCCL. See you guys calling out surf. Yeah, this one, slow and steady, huh? Really nice bounce. Kind of makes me like not super upset about that I missed this one because I would have been really impatient watching that one. Man, there is some low volume on CCCL. Gold tank. I appreciate that, but I think there's probably a lot of people that were just like $3. But then again, I was like at $2. I was like, nope. At 250, I was like, I mean, at 150, I was like, nah. So I'm just generally more pessimistic towards these small cap stocks, which is actually kind of hurting my breakout game a little bit, my breakout trading game. NNDM, anyone trade this one? I would be so nervous trading this one. I've seen DPOs happen, twice. Saying, wow, look at these flashes on the order book. Oof, it gives me the shivers just watching this thing. CCCL. Has it found its bottom? Maybe it has. Maybe it hasn't. 10:43 a.m. Yeah, Mitchell or Michael is short on. Is it Mitchell or Michael? It's short on NNDM. Yeah, Corey, they are terrible companies, but they also have low floats and they have the potential to rip 100, 2, 3, 4, 500%. So you can't be overly negative sometimes as well. Maybe by like 11 o'clock, be like, okay, well, you know what? Probably most of the momentum's gone. I'm going to be a little bit more pessimistic. But in the morning, you got to be, I think in the morning, being like the most optimistic person ever can really help a trading career a little bit. And then in the afternoon, being like the most pessimistic person. I think that's the change I need to make. Boom, CCCL finally doing something interesting here. Gotta say, it's quite tempting to want to trade this one. Second lead gapper, mainly because PHUN hasn't been able to really do much. Getting a bit of a 5-minute breakout here for once. $34. $35. There we go. It's looking good. Sweet breakout here. There are no limits on cash accounts for trades. HOME, I'm not sure. I haven't seen it yet today. I like the momentum coming back in CCCL. Kind of feel like I should have been done trading already with specifically with CCCL, which makes it a little bit painful. Broke above a key support zone. basically a 5 million shares outstanding, 5 million float, I meant to say. I know, just a sketchy kind of company. Last time they came out with an offering, luckily in the afternoon, they come out with a lot of offerings. It's kind of a big amount of buyers popping up back on CCCL. Did anyone get this bounce trade on PHUN? Before, every time I realize that PHUN is unhalted, I check it and it's halted again. It's really annoying. Would maybe consider taking a smaller position size here on CCCL just to kind of wrap up the day. I actually do like what I'm seeing here on this one. I had a nice 5-minute breakout. So far pulled back twice. $138, big sellers on that. Could chip through it though. CCCL is just so dried up on volume on this potential breakout. Makes me really not want to trade it. Man, oh man, oh man. SFET found a little bit of a bottom here. I'm not sure if it's going to get a reversal at any time. The daily chart is just so rough on SFET. It could be a nice little move. I like the fact that 1.4, tried to break twice, and now we're potentially, officially moving to the upside here. I think it's a fairly low risk trade in terms of, I doubt that this thing's going to get an offering thrown up on it at any second. CCCL just pulled back a little bit. This is actually almost the same price. I mean, it's probably a good chance it's going to hit 1.5 or something like that. I don't think it's going to be any sort of blow-away trade. It might even hit 1.6, hit VWAP again. I kind of doubt it, though. I'd be taking profits before 1.5. I don't know. Maybe an ideal, like 6 cents a share. It's not really totally worth it. But although it does have pretty good risk reward. It's just, a little bit later in the day now. So got to kind of pick and choose a little bit here. Or you just don't have, the nice choices that we had, obviously, in the first few minutes of the market open. The one I totally slept through. ALT breaking. Yeah, it's definitely crawling to the upside, that's for sure. SFET could just easily just pull back all day. I mean, I think there's so much dilution probably behind this one. So many bag holders that it doesn't have the it doesn't have that energy behind it. Nice. Shay, that's 18.47% up today from CCCL. That's beautiful. Yeah, look at this. CCCL pulling back again. Yeah, I was so nervous that this thing is just kind of like is losing steam here. That's why I wasn't trading the breakout. I'd be so upset if I tried to, trade that 1.4 breakout and then it just didn't work, because that would be, I feel like I would have been forcing a trade just to make a trade. Because I have one trade left in theory. So it's not really the best place to be. Even thinking like I have one trade left is a horrible thought. CCCL pulling back here, finally breaking the 1.2, or at least testing it. This is an area we've been thinking about buying several times. I wanted to buy here. I am a little bit upset that I didn't have a limit order there, but if I did have a limit order, who knows, maybe we would have not got triggered. Just got to be more attentive. Gold tank, thoughts on NNDM? I don't know. I probably won't be touching NNDM. I'm surprised it's been holding where it's been holding, though. I got to give it that. I usually, after an offering, I don't see the best results for these stocks. So the fact that it hasn't totally fallen off a cliff is quite surprising, and it could speak to the fact that it's not done yet, but CNET. Yeah, CNET's making some nice moves here. 13%. Home. Nice consistent uptrend. A little bit larger company, so I'd probably rather buy it on dips. CNET. I think I'm going to make that probably a new rule at one point. I'm going to think about it a little bit longer, but if a company has over 50 million shares outstanding, I might just only be buying like larger pullbacks, especially even if it's breaking out. Or else the breakouts are a little bit less consistent because there's more volume that needs to happen. More money needs to be traded. So sometimes, it does a few false attempts and that'll chop me out a few times. That's basically the nutshell of NNDM yesterday. A lot of failed spikes here on CNET, but we are above 180-day moving average. We do have a decent little bump here in volume. Non-compliant on April 23rd. Doesn't have any catalysts. Could be a bit of a short squeeze here. Who knows? Does look like it might do a pullback any second. So it was a bit of a late bloomer. Sometimes these can be quite interesting. It should be on our scanner. Yeah, it has such light volume, so it's probably way down here. There it is, popping up. Scanners just picked it up. %13 pullback so far. $2 million volume, 44% up on the day. Kind of interesting pick for sure, CNET. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a catalyst. I don't think this is going to be a very long-lived move, especially with that with the what was I going to say? Oh yeah, with the fact that CNET had this non-compliant $1 bid. So they're probably artificially trying to prop up the price right now so they can get compliance. Who knows what kind of news articles they're kind of pumping. Covering the short, not a bad idea. Tasty trade. Very cool. The big hustle man. Well, we're about just to wrap up trading here for the day. You know, with CCCL, that was kind of the one that would have put me back green on the day, just a little bit red here. And I absolutely was not focused on this dip right here. I wanted to buy the 121, had a nice bounce of like, I don't know, what was this, like 15% or so. I probably would have not held 18%. There's no way I would have probably held all 18%, but I probably, you know, could have got 7-10% off of that one. So that would have been really, really nice. Kind of predictable, but somehow I was asleep. CNET having a nice little bounce. Sweet little move here. It's quite nice. I was expecting a bit harder of a pullback, maybe even past, I don't know, 1.05, maybe in the 1 area. Didn't really get that. This could be a break here past the 120. That is the zone to break out from. Yeah, so a stock like this doesn't have really a catalyst. It doesn't really have a good reason to be moving up so much. So I wouldn't expect it to have that great follow through, and then here, boom again. So a stock like this, I'd probably also kind of be looking for the dips a bit more, but oof, could be halted. Karine, bad day to sleep in. Every day is a bad day to sleep in. There's so much to do. Although I gotta say I love sleeping in. I just overdue for a good sleep in. Thanks, Marco. And yeah, I totally agree with that, man. That's exactly what I've been feeling. Like, I'm calling these moves out almost to the T sometimes, and then I have not been having the follow through or the conviction behind it to execute a good trade. And it's like this little rough patch I'm going through. Luckily, you know, I'm you know, trading above water and I'm still growing the account, but it's just very slow because I'm not getting those big moves lately. Either I close out too early or I just, you know, take a scratch and get faked out. And it's a bit of annoying. I think it's definitely a phase, but I'm trying to think how I can get out of the phase quicker, but it might just have to be something that I go through. All right, so I think for the most part, the gap and go is more or less obviously, well, it's obviously over. It's basically over in my eyes at 30 minutes after the market opens. So I was a little upset I didn't get a trade out of the gates. I really think NNDM was a good pick. I was just, again, I was a little bit impatient with that one. I mean, we could look at it. NNDM, that was just about a perfect move. Got in on it nicely pre-market. Thing is, it wasn't a bad idea cutting my losses because it went about 8-9% down from where I entered. So I could have cut my losses here for a much bigger loss. Although it would have been nice to maybe do a re-entry at one point, maybe around here when we started seeing some volume coming back in. We broke back above the 15-minute EMA, had a nice spike here, and then 65% move. So maybe traded this one a little bit differently, waited for that really volume to pick up. I gotta say, I was not expecting such a strong move from NNDM. From the lows, it was about 100% move actually. Make it up, Paul. Yeah, maybe that could be. Yeah, thanks Andy for that. And yeah, all the FAQs. If you're wondering a question, there's a good chance, especially if it's like what platform am I using. There's a really good chance that it's in the FAQs below. All right, so I'm gonna wrap up here. I have one more trade to make today. I just don't know when I'm going to use it. I might use it later on, maybe do an afternoon trade. I don't know. I might not use it at all. And then that's also an option. I might just buy PHUN right now. That's also an option. But it's 11 o'clock. I want to wrap up a little bit here. Man, oh man, I feel like I could just watch PHUN all day. Except during the halts, I would need, I don't know, a beer or something to hold me over. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up. I will see you in the recap video coming out a little bit later today. Not too much to talk about for me, but I want to kind of focus about a little bit more on what I want to be focusing on to get out of this rut a little bit, and then kind of focusing on what would have been maybe the best setups for today as well. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap up with that. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I think we hit a new record today on concurrent viewers, so that's really, really sweet. Don't forget to drop a like if you like the content. Subscribe if you're new. I would love to see you again. The community is growing, and it's getting more and more helpful. I'll see you guys next time. Make some awesome trades. Stay safe. Have a good one, guys. Ciao, ciao.